1,000 users at 300 a month. What's that? 300,000 a month.
Sheesh.
So if we got a YouTube channel of 56,000 subscribers, we get 1,000 to commit to using this unbelievable product that's going to help grow and scale their business. We're cash flowing $300,000 a month.
Welcome back to another episode of Attractive Mindset. And today's guest, this legend in the market, every market, not just South Florida. I'm telling you, global presence. When it comes to his industry, trust me, I'm gonna let him speak more about it. But you cannot say the industry without mentioning this man's name. We got CJ University in the building.
Hey, man, I appreciate that introduction, man, for real. For real, man. Yeah, man, came in this game before the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? We jumped off in 2016. So when it come to credit, online marketing, I was in the game for a little minute, still in the game, and I got this sauce off in the drop, for real.
Okay. So CJ, where you from, man?
Man, I'm straight out of Houston, Texas.
Okay.
North side to be exact. You know, I got love for the south side too, but I'm straight out of Houston, Texas.
Okay. Damn. Houston, Texas. And so we're going to get right into it. In Attractive Mindset, we like to dive into the backstory a little bit first to find out about the person behind the brand, really. You know what I'm saying? And so who is CJ?
Man, I love that. So again, I'm from the north side of Houston, Texas. You know what I'm saying? Grew up just like most people in the area. Play ball, play sports, get at girls. You know, the education, the financial literacy game wasn't really there. It was more about you either gonna make it rapping, hustling, you know what I'm saying, or playing ball. That was pretty much it. But I was fortunate, my big brothers, they was really good in sports. So the high school I was gonna end up going to was gonna be a school that's kind of in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Northside, Booker T. Washington High School, and I went to Clifton Middle School. Well, luckily my brothers was really good in sports, so they ended up getting an athletic transfer to a nice school on the other side of town. So my big brothers were so good at that, they allowed me to go. And that was the first chance for me to open up that, damn, everything can be nicer. You know what I'm saying? Seeing kids with, you know, nice pairs of shoes, nice pairs of clothes, the most up-to-date Jordans and stuff like that. That was the first open of like my life being different if I move in different places. Then from there, I jumped off college trying to play sports and stuff like that. But I was just really in that party and blah, blah, blah. I went to SFA. Shout out to SFA. Came home, went to University of Houston. And then I got to a point in my life, you know what I'm saying, in them early 20s to where like the college thing, you know, we was from that generation where our parents said, go to college, get a job. Now the generation under us is like, nah, get on TikTok, get on social media. But us was like, go to college. But I was still in that generation to where like there's something else out there, right? So I just was like, man, I'm going to leave school. I'm not making no money. I was doing good in school, but I wasn't making no money. And I just started working some deadbeat jobs, man, just to try to figure it out. I was doing inventory overnight. Then I went from that and started working at UPS, unloading the boxes. Oh, shit, that was crazy. So I was in them hot-ass warehouses. And I said, man, I'm going to just get a good job with some AC. And then I moved over and applied for Finish Line, selling shoes inside the mall. And that was the last job I had. That was, I quit that job in 2017 when I stumbled upon the information about leveraging credit. I stumbled upon that information in 2016 in an apartment complex I stayed at. One of my neighbors, her boyfriend was like, we sit on the couch like this. I'm going to go ahead and just jump to the story. We sit on the couch like this, and he was excited. He was like turned up, like, yes. I said, man, bro, what you turned up for? You're like, man, I just flipped this real estate deal. Like, I just made like, you know what I'm saying, 60 bands.
Sheesh.
Like, huh? I said, how you do that? Now, mind you, I'm coming home from Finish Line, you know what I'm saying, tired from working and stuff. And I used to do a little trapping on the side. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't making enough money.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So I was just, nothing crazy. I was just selling a little weed, you know, because I smoked a lot to stay afloat. So I'm selling shoes and selling weed. And then he'd say this story. And I said, well, how'd you do it? He was like, me and my business partner went in, you know what I'm saying, on 100,000. I put up, you know, 50. He put up 50. And it was a little smaller deal back in this 2016, like, I guess they bought the house for 60, put 40 in it to flip it up, fix it up, but they was all in for 100 or something.
Yeah.
And they just threw it out there. Somebody grabbed it for like 160 because they was going to do something else to it, you know, because it was in the hood.
Yeah.
So they seen the value of it was going to be $300K later. So they just gave them 160, but they made 60,000 off going in at $100K.
Gotcha.
And selling it to them for 160. So I was like, bro, you got $100,000 on you? What the fuck? How you do that? He said, nah, bro, we leveraged our credit. The first time I ever heard it in my life.
Mm.
I'm 26 years old, never looked at my credit a day in my life, working a job making $8 an hour and hustling on the side. Never in my neighborhood, hood, parents, college, never heard it ever being mentioned. You know what I'm saying? Of course, for somebody maybe doing some little scam stuff on the side, but we weren't trying to get into that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he said that, and I was like, oh shit. How teach me?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, what's your credit? And again, I never looked at my score. I was like, man, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna let you know I kind of like blew it off because I didn't even know how to pull up my credit.
Mm.
I go home, log in to make a little quick Credit Karma account, and I'll never forget my score when I seen it was 473.
Damn.
I was like, God damn. But I didn't know so much about credit. I didn't even know that was really bad.
Mm.
So I was just like, what do I do? Looking back, all I had was just like a little phone bill, a little light bill, and I just didn't have no bill credit. So it's very easy for me to fix it.
Yeah.
I went back to my boy, but he was from Kenya. So when he came over here, he just learned how to build credit. He never messed it up. So he didn't know how to repair it. That's what led me down the path of learning how to repair it for myself, to build it for myself, to do what he did. So that's like the backstory of like just coming where I came from and then to the point where we started learning about credit. And it's a whole other story after that.
Got you. Okay. And so how long did it take for you to really solidify yourself in that industry for you to say, fuck finish line, I'm out?
So I first found out about that in 2016. So as I'm kind of like studying a little bit while I'm still at the job.
Mm.
But mine is 2016, so it ain't like all these credit people out here today.
Yeah.
Instagram stories wasn't even around then. It was just Snapchat.
Shit, I just got out the military.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like nothing was going on in the TikTok, none of that. So even YouTube, nobody was there. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a white guy, maybe an Asian guy, but nobody really black. You know what I'm saying? I was really like that. Until I met William Roundtree. So always big shout out to my OG William Roundtree out in Vegas. He was one of the few at that time, another guy named Corey P. Smith. But to answer your question, I would say he told me, let's just say summer of 2016, 1 year of getting my confidence up. 2017 is when I quit Finish Line. But when I quit, I still didn't have no money. I had maybe like a little $1,000 saved. Kind of knew the credit game, but not all the way because you couldn't get the information as fast as you can today.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of trial and error back then. But I just knew once I found out that when I turned mine from 470 to 700 pretty fast, just knocked the two little things off, got a little secure card, let the secure card age, then got an unsecured card, and it shot up to 700. So, you know, being from the hood, if you got 700 credit score, it's like, we're going to just assume you rich.
Facts.
So my confidence, even though I'm still in the same situation, my confidence of logging in and seeing that I got a 700 credit score and knowing that nobody around me, college, high school, or nothing like that, really talked about this information, I still knew I had something. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just bet on myself. I'm out. Because I couldn't get better at studying it while working at the job. I ain't have enough time.
Okay. Nah, that's definitely dope. And you know, I don't really know much about the credit space like that, but we did have 2 days ago, Coach DeMont come on here and DJ Trust Fund baby, and they were talking about trusts to like take. I don't know how he framed it. I'm gonna fuck it up. My bad. You know what I'm saying? But he said basically, put your debt in the trust and like it will remove it for good or something like that or whatever. You ever heard of like that?
That's some next level game. I'm not gonna lie, that is next level game. I've heard of it. I'm not 100% sure how it works because in the credit game, what happens? Most people start off in a credit game like that, and then they find that superior niche they is. So that's probably what they did, and it's a trust. Then you got some people take credit game and they leverage for real estate. Then you got some people take the credit game and they leverage it like in the market or something like that. So what we decided to do was take the credit game and leverage it in software, SaaS, AI. So I've always seen every path I can go because I'm knowledgeable about credit. So with that type of information, I maybe would just have to hear him talk a little bit, maybe ask him a few questions, and I can get it pretty quickly. But I never delved all the way in the trust game 100% know how it works because from what I do know about it is, you know what I'm saying, you better know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And the documentation needs to be there, solidified, written out correctly. So you definitely want to have somebody to help you do it because it's not no game that's just out there. I don't think ABC I think it's more like somebody really got to show you.
Nah, most
But
definitely. He came on here dropping some crazy gems because I do business too,
Yeah.
and terms getting thrown around that I ain't never even heard in my life, and I was like, okay, he on something else. But so you say you deal with the software side,
Yeah.
and so you never had a degree in that though, right?
Nah, man.
So how'd you get into the software side of things,
Bro, that's the best question, bro, to be asked right now. For real.
Mm.
Because coming up, programming, making software is, as we know, the earliest time for me when Bill Gates was doing it to start off. Are you talking about mid late 80s all the way to what they were doing in the 90s, and then, you know, the dot-com boom in the early 2000s. If you somewhere in that realm, you have to have went to school for computer science.
Mm.
You have to have some type of engineering degree, because that's when the actual internet was actually being built.
Yeah.
So you really have to know how to code to be able to program those sites and softwares. I mean, you got to know what you're doing. But in today's game, 2023 and forward, the whole game has changed, because now we can get in software, now we can get in AI through no code. Meaning, like, these developers have gotten so good over the time.
Open source.
Yeah, to where, like, hey man, you can create a software that you can drag and drop and not have to know how to code the back end to make you drag and drop. So things that move on a computer screen that you moving around, dragging and dropping, somebody has wrote a code to allow that motion to happen. But so for us now, we don't have to know that code. We could just use the pre-made software they have and the pre-made AI tools they have, and then customize our own. You see what I'm saying? So you don't have, that's why I said the question you asked is so good, because I don't need a computer science degree. I don't need some type of computer tech degree. I don't have to spend as many years as they did, because they already solved a major problem by making it no code.
Gotcha.
And so what we believe at CJU is this is the best business model to go into 2024 and beyond. Here's why. We are all entrepreneurs, right? Business owners and stuff like that. And the first question me and my team is going to ask you, even if you want to do business with us as a partnership, collab, or a client, we're going to ask you what type of system you use. We're going to ask you what type of CRM you use. We're going to ask you what type of software you use. We're going to ask you what type of automation you use. So most of the time when people want to collab and do business, it's always on the front end. Oh, so-and-so got a lot of followers on Instagram. So-and-so got a lot of views. So-and-so got a lot of motion. We don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? Well, I shouldn't say we don't care about it, but that's not the most important thing we care about.
Yeah.
We coming at you on the back end. We want to see what's behind your business. We want to see how is it moving and is it scalable? Because everything on the front end can be good, but if the back end isn't set up correctly, then you don't have a scalable business, and there's going to be a problem that happens there. You see what I'm saying? So we on that tech software side. Now, I still come from the credit game. We just going to teach people in the credit game to leverage their credit to get into software. Now, when we get into the money-making part, why I say it's the best business to get into, because one, is going to solve a lot of problems in your business. It's going to organize your business. It's going to make your business more manageable for you, your team, and your clients.
And this is for credit people.
Yeah,
Okay.
and everybody, but we specifically talking credit people to start, because that's our lane. But any business we would deal with somebody in, we will make sure that they have a really good CRM, which is a client relationship manager, just a way to just track the data of your clients, your sales, you know what I'm saying, and everything that you want to know about them, their data. So we want to make sure you got that, because most entrepreneurs are just, I was telling my partner Will about this today, most entrepreneurs, when they clocking in is picking up their phone, right? When you worked at a job, there was some type of software system that we put our pin in, our number in to clock in.
Yeah.
But as entrepreneurs, we don't do that. We just wake up when the alarm clock go off and say, who texted me today?
Facts.
Who emailed me today? And I'm going to talk to my team, and we probably got some group chats and stuff like that. That's nothing to log into to be able to track data, sales, you know what I'm saying, activity. You need a whole system to be able to do that for you to move efficiently, right? So when you get the credit, we'll help you get business credit. But what we're going to say, hey, don't take your business credit and go leverage an Airbnb first. Go to Toro first, or go to all these investment opportunities that people say you can get a bag at. What we're going to say is take that business credit and invest into a system first. Invest into a CRM first. Invest into the most up-to-date SaaS software and the most up-to-date AI tools. So as soon as you get out there into the marketplace, you have an advantage over everybody immediately. Because what we know is 5 to 99% of entrepreneurs don't have a really good CRM and a really good automation system.
Facts.
So if you come in a game like that as a competitor, you'll be able to offer your clients a better product or a better service, which gives you the edge over the market.
So that makes me also ask, like, when everybody else went left, what made you go right? Just like you mentioned earlier, you were like, people did this and then leveraging the real estate and then did this. What made you go into software?
Man, that's another great question, bro. What made me go into software is I study the great ones religiously. All my partners know, even before I became an entrepreneur, I just had this thing about studying other great successful people. And even though I wasn't the biggest academic person in school, I just gravitated to history. I guess everybody, whether they're a good student or not, if you ask them what was their favorite subject, everybody got their favorite.
Yeah.
Mine was math, even mine just happened to be history because I figured history was the easiest subject because I was just memorizing.
Yeah.
Right. So if the test was like, who was the first president, I just had to remember it was George Washington. Math is like, yeah, remember, but it's a whole bunch of stuff that goes on. So
Facts.
history was like, it's just like easier for me to understand. So because of that, it led me into the path of studying history of successful rich people. So shit, if I want to be rich, I should study rich people.
Facts.
I shouldn't study what everybody else doing. I should study what the rich people doing. Right? So when you study the richest people that we know, whether it's Jeff Bezos, whether it's Elon Musk, these top guys, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs,
software
that changed the world, it was software. So I watched so many documentaries of these guys. I've seen everything on YouTube, every movie that's ever made. And they got into software and tech, meaning when you get in software and tech, you are now having the ability to like manipulate what we do in real life because you can create something that's going to make us move more efficiently in our life. So if you're helping people solve a big problem or move efficiently, move faster, you're going to get paid a lot of money for that. So basically, in business, period, the bigger the problem you solve, the more money you're going to make, right? So getting into software, it allows me to solve a huge problem for entrepreneurs, but then it's also a very scalable business. See, when you build a software once, you just sell it over and over and over.
Yeah.
It doesn't require more time. For example, our software that we'll use, if we charge a client $300 a month to use the software, we know the benefits of software is going to help them make more than $300 a month, which is going to justify the price. But now all I have to do is get 300 users to pay me $300. And what's 300 times 300? We cash for $90,000 a month.
Wow.
But trying to do 90,000 in high ticket sales, which I did for years, that means I got to go. What's the saying? Kill what you hunt or hunt what you kill. That saying that you got to go, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, eat what you kill, you know what I'm saying? So like every month, if I want to do 90,000 sales, I got to go find new people, new sales, close new people, find new prospects, run new marketing. But with software, it's reoccurring.
Yeah.
So all I need is more users to just pay the monthly subscription to use this product or service, and it does, and the money goes up, but my time doesn't. See what I'm saying? It doesn't require appointment setters, more closers, and more coaching, more time. It's just more users. So when I looked at how they got rich, they created a software that was an amazing product or an amazing service and just got more users.
Yeah.
And with more users paying the subscription, they don't have to hunt down sales as much because the money is reoccurring. And that's a great way to track your business if you have a reoccurring or a contingency model. Because if we didn't grow past 300 users the next month, we still know we got 90,000 coming in.
Facts. Damn.
We still know that. You know, so that's every entrepreneur like anxiety. The next month.
Facts.
We did good this month. Are we gonna do it again next month? Is next month gonna be a diamond? Gonna be a month? Well, if you running a software behind anything you doing, and you having that monthly fee based off your product or service, you can breathe easy next month. So what we want to do is we want to come to our clients and students, set this up first.
Yeah.
So whatever product or service you're about to offer, put them on the software with it. And so we help create that offer to help people create a contingency program to where if the market tanks or, pandemic or something, you ain't sweating because you ain't hunting down sales every month.
Yeah. Nah, that's dope. You know, just even hearing you say that I'm a business mindset coach, and so even hearing you say that, like I could tell the foundation's strong. You ever heard of Steve Bartlett? Bartlett?
Steve Bartlett.
Yeah, Steve Bartlett. He made the Diary of a CEO.
Oh,
They
okay.
got a podcast too, but he talks about the 5 buckets, and so this is hey,
Mhm.
this happens in my coaching session, so y'all can
You
get a
getting
free
this, they
one.
getting this
You
off
know what I'm
top.
saying? And
Yeah.
so basically, he talks about the 2 first buckets that you gotta have to be knowledge and then skill, because
Uh-huh.
once you build that foundation, you could lose the other 3, which is your network, your resources, and your reputation, but they can never take the amount of knowledge and skill that you have. And so you saying like, yo, I studied the grades. That's increasing that knowledge, which applied to your skill set. From that skill set, you was able to get more resources. From your resources, you grew your network. From that network, you got a better reputation. So
100%. I agree
super
with that. I'm gonna
solid.
definitely
So
check that out.
even with you doing business the way that you've done it, has anybody else built like a software that you have, or are you like one of a kind right now?
Well, in our market we haven't seen it.
Mm,
Because if we want to talk about like I guess the black financial educators
mm,
in the game today, I guess you would start from EYL on down, as them having the
okay.
biggest audience or the
Yeah.
biggest podcast. And that. So, I mean, if we go through their YouTube, we couldn't find it there. We go to a lot of other guys that got bigger podcasts under there. We couldn't find it there.
Mm,
Um, so as far as I'm concerned, I haven't seen it. And
mm,
that's why, like this podcast right here, this is one of the first times that I really been public talking about this, because we've
yeah.
been working this internally with the community. This is like
Mm,
one of the first times I ever talked about this right here on this podcast, because we haven't really rolled it out
okay.
loudly on social media, because I already have a built-in community of thousands of people that we're already running it on.
Got
So
you.
I've been an entrepreneur again for about 7 years now.
Mhm,
So I have contacts and data with people. So we just working within our community. And
mhm.
again, we had about 56,000 on YouTube and such other platforms. I've done Patreon, I've done Facebook groups, Discord groups.
Mm,
But again, remember my number. If we only did 300 users, we
mm.
cash flowing 90K a month. I
Yeah.
don't think that's bad.
Not at
Cash
all.
flowing 90K a month. I mean, and again, obviously we would scale higher than that.
Yeah.
1,000 users at 300 a month. What's that? 300,000 a month.
Sheesh.
So if we got a YouTube channel of 56,000 subscribers, we get 1,000 to commit to using this unbelievable product that's going to help grow and scale their business. We're cash flowing $300,000 a month.
Mm,
So I haven't seen that business model being out public on podcasts talked about like that.
mm.
I haven't actually seen it, but I'm not gonna say it's not out there. Again, the very first question you asked at the beginning, like, what made you credible or what gives you in its place? Again, I was one of the first black people on YouTube educating about credit.
Mm,
And again, if you go on YouTube, the best thing about it is stamped.
yeah.
So, man, it just wasn't that many beforehand.
Yeah.
So I seen all the new credit people that's came, about, and most of them got in the game in 2020.
Yeah.
So it's barely 2023 right now. They only been in the credit game
A few years.
few years. So I know they haven't got nowhere near software and tech side of it, because they still learning credit. You don't just learn credit that fast, because you got to go through it yourself, build it 6 months. So you need at least 2 to 3 years, 4 years in a credit game to be experienced to talk about that.
And then I even add something to that. People that built businesses, I'm not taking away anything from them, because based off of how you leveraged it, I'm pre-pandemic as well.
Yeah.
And so people who built businesses in the pandemic, a lot of them actually fail at what they started in the pandemic now, because them building that foundation was at a different point in society.
Mm-hmm.
Society changed again now. And so they built the foundation on something where people were stuck inside. People, were making these online purchases, and, it was a
Right.
more, give and take kind of relationship. But now people back outside, and that competition door opened up. So I see a lot of people that really went up, and they made some good money, have to switch their industry now to something else, and they teaching something else completely different.
100% fact. There's a lot of people that we seen pop in the pandemic that ain't here no more.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Fly by nights, you know what I'm saying? But our entrepreneurship, we have our ups
Absolutely.
and downs. It's who's gonna be like, hey, I made all that money in the pandemic. I'm not making that money like that no more.
Mhm.
Does that mean I'm not a good entrepreneur? Does that mean I
Absolutely
should throw in
not.
the towel? Does that mean I should quit? Nah, ride that thing out.
Mhm.
Fortunately, I was able to be in the game before the pandemic, had my spike, and then had my. Let me drop this sauce to say why I'm critical about the software and tech side. Because again, I'm credible in credit because I taught the whole nation from a way of teaching credit the way we can understand it.
Mhm.
All my YouTubes, you go to my YouTube channel, I teach like nobody ever taught credit game. I broke it down and actually weed analogies
Mhm.
all the way down to the streets to understand. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing. I got into business coaching
Mhm.
right after that. Right after just teaching credit game, I got into business coaching. I got into high ticket sales. All that. I did it all. And why I'm in software right now is because all the coaches and gurus are teaching people post content. You need to post more content. You ain't posting enough content. You ain't posting enough content.
Yeah.
Without giving them the sauce about having a back end system.
Mhm.
So this is what I always say. Let's say the best case scenario happened. Let's say you do make a bunch of posts. Let's say one of them do go viral, and let's just say viral at 500,000.
Mhm.
Now let's say what you said about your product or service was so popping. You got 500,000 views, but let's say out of that 500,000, let's literally just say 2,000 want to get at you. I don't even know what that percentage is off the top of my head, but let's just say only 2,000 want to get at you. Do you have any type of back end system and
To
automation
support
flow to service 2,000 people that's coming straight at you, straight at your DMs, coming straight at your emails? Hey, I want that. I want that. I want that. So the best thing that could probably happen to you in your business is getting 2,000 leads. Can also end up being a nightmare. Because you can't handle that capacity. You don't have a system in place. You don't have a team in place. You don't have automation in place. You don't have a CRM to track them people. You don't have the proper lead magnets put in place on your sites. Your site's crashing. Nobody there to handle it. Now you got to respond to all them people, service all them people. You don't have everything set up, right?
Yeah.
So the reason why I say that is because that's what happened to me. So that's why I'm speaking from experience. If you go to my YouTube, Chris Joseph University, I made a video called Get It Out the Mud, Blueprint. Got chains on, shades on, and I shot that video on the way going out that night. And when the video starts, my intro say, hey, it's 2019, and I'm giving y'all the 2020 play. I made it in December 2019, and I was telling people about the 2020 play, which was leveraging credit.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, I don't know the pandemic is about to happen. So I dropped the video. I head out my YouTube channel maybe 600, 700 subscribers at the time because I wasn't trying to be a YouTuber.
Yeah.
I was just trying to get the information out on videos because I was talking to too many people. Pandemic happens March, April, around that time, the 2020. Me and my bro, we in San Diego on the beach just chilling. My phone get the buzzing like crazy. YouTube, hey, you about to get monetized. And I'm asking the homie, what does monetize mean? I don't even know what that means. I'm like, I ain't trying to be no YouTuber. I'm just kicking this credit game for who need it.
Yeah.
Oh, you get monetized. You this and that. Set this up. Put your bank account on there. I'm like, dang, it's going up. Next, we go from 500 subscribers to 1,000, 1,000 to 2,000, 2,000 to 5,000, 5,000 to 10,000, 10,000 to 15,000, 15,000 to 20,000, all within a 2-month span.
Damn.
Like, not know, like it was growing. Like as from March on down, I can show my analytics. My channel really went from 500 subscribers to 50,000 within 6 months.
Sheesh.
You know what I'm saying? It's been stagnant ever since because I'm still working on leads to this day.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? People always ask me every day, CJ, why you don't go hard on YouTube? You want to know why? I had to spend a year or two building a new system to handle my own traffic. My organic traffic from my YouTube was so overwhelming, I had to put my business on pause for 2 years.
Damn.
While my business has been on pause for 2 years as far as marketing hard, and me not even posting barely any new content, I've been backed up with organic leads for those 2 years. That's why I was able to still make money and move out here to Miami from California. I went to Houston, California to Miami.
Wow.
I've been making so much money off my organic leads from my YouTube, from videos I made in 2019 to where I couldn't push my YouTube into drive no more until I built out a strong enough system to handle it. So that's how I got into software, got into tech, because I said I have to find these answers. One, I want to make more money. But two, ultimately, I want to help more people.
Facts.
So if my system ain't strong enough, there's people that's trying to get at CJU for the sauce that I can't service. Because everything is manual. You know, on my phone, I'm just dragging people to help me. No. I'm telling you, we got a strong team now. Organizational charts. People got roles. We have SOP set up. Every single facet of our business. Like, say you want to work with me. Remember that Rich, and you was like, hey, CJ, I want you to fix my credit. For my credit repair business, I have a whole SOP built out that shows where you're going to start at and where you're going to end it. Then I have every automation that you're going to go through in our system already pre-recorded.
And that's on the software?
Yeah, okay. That I made. So before you would even sign up for me, if you even want to question me, I would send you my credit repair SOP first and say, just check out my back end first. You check out how my system runs, and then you tell me if you even like the way my system runs before you even sign up with me. So before you even give me money, you actually know what you're getting into, not just the service. You actually understanding how his service works. Because that's the problem right now in entrepreneurship with gurus. We don't know who to trust. Yeah. We don't want to get scammed, right? Ain't Facts. That the number one thing? So I've been solving so many problems of I don't know who to work with because I'm going to get scammed. Well, it's going to be very difficult for me to scam you, bro, when I show you the system you're going through.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? I'm showing you where you're going to start. You know what I'm saying? If you want to do business funding with us, I have a whole SOP I can show you first, start to finish, how it go. If you want to learn SaaS software from us, we have a whole entire SOP put together, meaning you know start to finish again, you know who you're going to talk to, when you're going to talk to them, and the result you should respect actually through the process. You know what I'm saying? And how we capture data. All our data that we capture online spits out an automation, an automated text message, an automated email, and sends the client down a path where they need to go, even before they even speak to somebody on the team.
That's fire.
So that way, if I had an influx of 10, or let's just say 2,000, something like I said, if 2,000 people hit my link today, me and my team could service it. Based on the point I'm trying to make. We could service it because everybody knows exactly what they're supposed to do as soon as a client comes in to fill out their form.
So I want to ask a question on that. So you having this team now in creating something where, you know, just like you said, you haven't seen anything else like it. How do you know what you need for your team?
That's another great question, bro. Basically going through all the mistakes. I went through so many mistakes. Again, everybody want to, you know, even on podcasts or social media, we always want to talk about our wins.
Yeah.
Nobody talk about the losses.
Facts.
You get the most game out of the losses. So I'm very open about all the mistakes I made in my business, and that's why I know where to put people at, right? So I would just look at every area that, why didn't I service this client properly at this offer? Why didn't this one? So I would just go through and find every single hole, and I would, if it could be automated, I'm gonna always plug in the automation first with using AI or a SaaS tool. If it's something that can't be automated, which is a few things now, because these tools are so good, I have somebody on my team plug in right there. But to answer your question, how do I know? Just being in business that long, solving my own problems. Therefore, in a 5-minute conversation or less with another entrepreneur business owner, I can tell immediately that we can solve their problem. From the simple questions of, what system to use? Just to ask it. My team already know. We talk to anybody. That's the first thing we go, hey, oh, it sounds good that you do that. Yeah, what system you use? What do you mean? What software do you use? And then we start spitting out the software and tools we use. Once we know they never heard of them, it's a wrap. It's a wrap because here's why. I already know if you haven't heard of the softwares you use, the AI tools we use, because we use the most up-to-date stuff.
Yeah.
From ChatGPT all around that. If I know you don't even know the terminology of a SOP, standard operating procedure, systems and automations, lead generations, if I know you don't even understand that type of terminology, you're having a lot of problems in the back end of your business. We know that for 100% fact. We know there's some type of chaos there. And if it's not no chaos, we can just help you streamline it and move faster and be more efficient simply because we know what you're not using. And we know you have to do business online. We know you have to be on social media. And no business is popping without that, right?
Yeah.
So if you know your business is based off you getting leads off social media online, why aren't you using the best tools to help you do that?
Yeah.
So we solve our problems and then we can solve other people's problems.
So outside of, just the credit field that you're solidified in, who else would be your target audience as far as like business owners?
That's a really good question because we would just go down to who we want to service as a niche
Okay.
because it actually can be anybody. Because nobody should be running a business without a CRM.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's why when we talk to people, like, it's not a hard sell. Like, we trying to shove our services down your throat. We're just going to tell you all the problems that you're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
And so this can mean any entrepreneur. We just know from the credit industry. So, like, a lot of my mentees want to start a credit repair company. A lot of them want to start a funding company because they learned that from me over the years.
Mm-hmm.
So it's naturally that we have software is already set up, pre-made. We got pre-made websites, pre-made templates, pre-made text message automations, pre-made email automations, meaning somebody coming in from our industry, 48 hours, you'll be up and running. Because it's already made on the software. All we got to do is show you how to use it. So you often ready to make money. And that's what we pride ourselves on. When you sign up with us and everything goes, you see the process, you see the SOP, you say you want to move forward, we aim to have you ready to go in 48 hours. Or less, right? Now, if we decide to go to a different niche, like it could be somebody in real estate, shit, it could be somebody in podcasting, right? I will, because podcasting is popular, so I can niche down our software to create a funnel for podcasters, meaning like, hey, what CRM use? Why do I need a CRM for a podcast? Well, let's just make sure we have the first, last name, email, phone numbers of everybody that you do podcasts with a guest with. Let's see what city and state they from. Let's have a small little bio on them. Let's have a topic of the type of person they are. And let's make sure that if we want to reach out to them people, that we have some type of automation in place that we can just shoot them a text message, shoot them an email. If we want to get them back some clips from the video, something they can shoot out to them. You know what I'm saying? So you can create a whole type of system just behind podcasting with the software that it could just run, click of buttons, and all your data is there, all your sales is there, all the information is in one dashboard, is what I'm getting at, right? Because most of our entrepreneurs, when I ask them, hey, how are you running your business? How are you tracking data? Shit, my phone or my Google Calendar or, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, it might be working for now, but you know how much you leaving on the table without having that stuff automated?
Yeah.
Basically, as an entrepreneur, if we can get our time back, we can be more efficient.
No, big facts.
If we can just get our time back. So, back to answering your question, though, it don't matter what industry. It don't matter what industry. If we just see that you don't have a back end system, we can help you.
Got it. So what would it be like in like coaching?
Coaching. So I would find out, you know what I'm saying, what type of coaching you're doing. We have a qualifying form.
Okay.
Right? So we'll have a qualifying form that you'll fill out to where you'll give us that information. We'll just ask some questions about you. And really initially, once we get the data on you, it's really just going to be the same thing. Are you using any system? Are you using any CRM? Most of the time, a coach maybe got a Wix website, maybe just a website on Wix or something. Most business coaches just run it off Instagram.
What if they got like Kajabi, Honeybook?
Which is good too. So that's good. If we see that you have something like that, what we would do is we would look at how you're using it. And first of all, find out, are you operating that software or do you have a team to do it? Because if you, the CEO, the boss, we don't want you handling it. You shouldn't be handling it. You shouldn't be handling software. You should be focused on top of the business, running the business, not in it. So first of all, we're going to ask, are you doing it? If you're doing it, then we need to fix that already. You need to have somebody doing that for you.
Yeah.
Then on top of that, I'm going to look at how much your expenses are with the tools you're using. So how much you paying monthly for Kasabi, how much monthly you paying for Honeybook, and what else are you using? And then we'll show you our option and be like, hey, you using that tool for that reason, using that tool for that reason, using that tool for that reason. We have a software that does all that in one. So you don't need to have all those different logins. You don't need to have all those monthly subscriptions. Our software can do all that doing. We think we can do it even better, and we offering customer support and IT support when you're dealing with us too.
Got you.
So like Kajabi and stuff like that, like those softwares, we know how to build those softwares.
Yeah.
And make our own. So we could put people under our software as a sub account, or we can actually custom build a dashboard just for you.
That's fine.
So we have pre-built stuff to fire you off in 48 hours, Or we also have like, man, do you want to create your own CRM, your own dashboard that's specific for you, that's not white labeled, that's not somebody else's that we built on top, your own custom joint? We can do that too. And then when you get into that realm, now we're gonna make you a SaaS entrepreneur, meaning if we built a custom dashboard for you for podcasts, that's gonna easily be, once you see that it work, it's gonna be easy upsell for you to offer to other people in podcasts.
Yeah. And
See what I'm saying?
so just like these sites like Kajabi, they have the different tier levels. And so you said 300 was the base price. And so, what other tier, do you have other tier levels, or is just that one flat fee for everything? Or if you wanted to get it super custom, like you said, is that something else?
Yeah, so that the real current fee right there, that's to have the software and all the benefits that come with the software. There's nothing you're gonna get missed out. So that comes from, man, building you a landing page, building you a website, building a text message, email campaigns, building the automations behind those. Again, have your CRM helping you track that data. It also comes with helping you build your course. You build your course inside there, and it also comes with you being able to build your community inside of there, right? So all those different, you might got to go here to build your website, go here to put your course on there, go here to write a blog, use Facebook or something for groups. Again, we're going to combine all that into one. Now, your next question, if you want to do something more advanced, that'll just be on a consultation basis for us to know how far you want to go.
Got it.
Right? So it's definitely, prices definitely will vary. And the price will just vary on, again, how deep you want your software. We'll give you a demo so you can see how far it goes. But how far you want to make it, how customized you want to do it, you know what I'm saying, how many people you want to have access to it, because you could just add all these crazy functions on there. So price will just come down to really how much you want to invest in your own software.
Got it.
So let me be more clear. Hey, bro, I got a budget of $5,000. What can you do with that? I'm gonna say this is exactly what we can do with that. I got a budget of $15,000, bro. What can you do with that? And I got my offers go from $25,000. That's been my highest so far. 2024 is up to $50,000. So my highest I've done so far is $25,000 when they've been getting their own custom stuff that they're gonna build on it, but they're gonna resell. See, that's how they get their money back. When they do my high ticket people, when they pay $25,000, they're gonna get their own custom CRM and software. But now they'll be able to resell it to people in their community. So I helped them create a 5K offer. They close 5 people, they get their 25K back. And I helped them create a contingency offer, a subscription model, so they get paid monthly as well.
Got it.
So for people who, hey, I ain't trying to do all that. I'm just trying to just get a CRM and the software to make sure I'm organized and got automation on business.
300.
Let me just lock into y'all software and get it rolling. Baby, we'll train you up. We got a little setup fee too. We can set it all up for you. Train the material, everything you need. And then again, for people who want to do some custom stuff, we more than happy to do that, because again, the higher the price they want to invest in, we're basically just gonna take that money and I could deploy it to my best developers. I could pull them off other stuff and like, hey, this person want custom. Now we also excited to do that too, because again, we want to help you sell it. So if we build something custom for you, you like it, we like it, that's when we go into equity partnership, because I'm gonna be like, bro, I just built you a custom podcast software. You still got to do podcasts. You still got to do your job. You don't want an extra job, but you want extra money.
Facts.
So if we build it for you, shit, we gonna help you sell it too, and be like, hey, bro, you want to do a commission split? Like my team sell it. Any podcast we talk to, we sell it. They go to your stuff. It's not going to CJU. We just a little sales team and a customer support for you. So then now we can make money together. Because you don't have time to fuck with all that software and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We'll come into place. But if we help build it, let's do it together. So
Nah,
therefore, you doing your thing, but saying, hey, bro, I got my own software and my own software team too. And that's what we want to bring to the Black community, because we know 100% tech is lacking. 100%. Everybody's showing how to get money, but who's showing the back end systems, SOPs, and scalability, which eliminates the burnout? You know what I'm saying? We all, everybody want to be entrepreneurs, but we know that burnout, when you stretch yourself too thin, you're wearing too many hats in the business. You know what I'm saying? You the salesperson, you the marketer, you the editor, you the closer, you got to provide the service. You might be making money, but shit, we'll be burnt out.
Nah, facts.
So we come in and seeing, you know what I'm saying, what the other communities, the white people are doing, the Asians are doing, the Indians are doing. And, we personally, we more creative, got more sauce, got more culture. So we get this information that they've been making money with. I plan on doing the same thing I did with the critter game, bringing it to the culture. You know what I'm saying? Bringing something that's so high complex and using my gift, being able to break it down and communicate to my people to be like, damn, software and tech ain't that scary.
Nah, facts.
I just needed somebody to break it down to me.
And so that raises a question that I usually, ask. Like, we have a lot more information available to us as, a Black community, but how come we don't have something like a Tulsa, Oklahoma again?
The reason why we don't have it, I believe we haven't found that leader, that voice for us. And that's why when we look at EYL and what Rashad and Troy is doing, the way them boys got up so big and able to put 20,000 people in one venue, I would say they're the closest ones to have a voice to swing the community in the right direction. I think it's a lot weighing on their shoulders. Right now, they doing a great job of living that lifestyle that they living, what I think is great. But I think as them guys continue to get so much bigger, the responsibility of 20,000 that was in attendance and more that's watching, they have the opportunity to build it. I think so. Not everybody needs to play their part, right? Everybody needs to play their part to build something like Tulsa, you know what I'm saying, to build a community for ourselves. But I think it's just going to start with who got the biggest voice.
Facts.
And then whoever got the biggest voice, do they have the proper game plan to lead the people there? You know what I'm saying? And with social media and the way we can get all this attention and get access to all these people, which is what they did, right? It's getting to the point to where somebody got to raise up and say, we need to have this private meeting amongst us Black people who really had this responsibility to shift and move and stuff as Black people. And it's time to organize. I think it starts with the voice, and I think it starts with organizing. And I made this post a while ago. I don't think there's no better time in history for us to do that.
And so I like how you said that, because the next part of that question is, when do we, or how do we know, back in the day, it was a little different and it was a little more prominent and easier for you to make solidified Black figures like Dr. King, Malcolm X, all of them. But when do we become the new history versus the old history? When do we start talking about ourselves as like the Rosa Parks and the Malcolm X's and all of that type of stuff? Like, how do we gauge that kind of factor?
I think, again, it's when somebody decides to really take that full pressure. I think everybody's been building their personal brands and their personal businesses out of the pandemic. I think it's going to be that one that's just going to rise and say, I ain't building this for just CJU. I ain't building this for just EYL. I'm speaking for everybody now. And I believe I have the plan. I believe I got the mission. I believe I got what it takes to lead us there. And I think when that person begins to rise up and do that, I think that's when it's going to start. Because again, all those great leaders like Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King, and Malcolm X, they assume that pressure too.
Yeah.
Remember, before Malcolm is Malcolm, before Martin is Martin, they had to go through to prove to the community that they were about that action.
Facts.
So when Malcolm X is continuously speaking the way he's speaking, he started off lower tier and worked his way. But when they heard the conviction in his voice, when they heard how serious he is and how he's really pushing this agenda at that level, I think the people are going to respect that. And I think we just waiting on that person, in my opinion. And speaking for myself, as far as my team, though, they know I ain't got that fear factor by me. I feel like I've been quiet a little bit on my social media, opposed to talking we talking about today, to where I'm about to get ready to assume that position. Because I personally believe our product and service that we have is one of the best ways to get our people communicating in a organized and manageable manner, right? And I think that if we can get people to move correctly in the new age, like you say, new generation. The new generation is SaaS and AI. Ain't no question about it. Whether you understand what I'm saying or not. SaaS stands for software as a service, right? And most of us are using these software and don't know what it is. AI is here. It ain't going nowhere. It's here and it's about to ramp up at a whole nother level. We on this. We have a 10 a.m. call every week. We study this every single day. You know what I'm saying? And we're looking like, oh shit, this shit is like here. And they say AI and SaaS is finna take jobs. It's gonna wipe out the people with no understanding, but it's still gonna require human touch to program it and operate it. So we have such a huge advantage. So how, back to your point, how I want to step up and say that I got an answer for Black people. I got a way to really push forward. And I don't care how big the stage is. I do small podcasts, big podcasts. You can put me in a big EYL stage. Me, I don't have no fear factor talking in front of people. Because I really believe what I'm talking about. And I really know it's an answer. And I think that's also to the point too. When we're going to set this up is who's going to be willing to sacrifice for the culture in the community. Who's willing to put their brand on the line? Who's really ready to put their business on the line? Because them dudes not only just put a brand in business, they literally put their life on the line. You see what I'm saying? So who's ready to assume that all the big cats in Atlanta, who's really ready to assume that, I really got the answer, not just for me to get money, but for us to come over and take over. And I think, you know what I'm saying, whoever ready to take that route, to rise up. See, we all got these podcasts. Everybody got their Instagram. Who really bought that? And I think that me going into the software tech space, I want to let our work speak for itself for a little minute and get feedbacks like from people like you, people that's entrepreneurs, business at a high level. We want to network with a lot more people like yourself to show them what we got going on, like everything I talked about. And we know once we get high level people like yourself to sign off on what we doing, the confidence gonna rise on my end and be like, hey, not only do I know what I'm talking about, not only is it working, I got some high level people agreeing with this motion and movement I got. So I don't know what y'all doing everywhere else, but out here in Miami, you know what I'm saying? We gonna get together, we gonna do our thing. And if Miami gotta lead the charge, I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Atlanta doing their thing, you know, they do their thing in New York. I'm from Texas. Texas got as much going on, but what's going on right here in Miami is the future. From tech to software to networking to collabing to real estate to hospitality. Ain't no city in America messing with Miami right now.
Nah, not at all. And I've been saying that for the longest because, you know, even talking to Circle of CEOs, the last event that I went to with them, they were like, yeah, you know, tap in with the circle and everything. And I said, respectfully, I gotta build a circle out here in Miami. You know what I'm saying? And that's not to put down at all because they killing it over there. You know, they doing their thing over there. But we need to be having that in every different state. We need these different leaders in the community in every different state because we do have different industries and we do have different, you know, subject points that we could touch on and how we could grow our audience. But we also need people to understand that we can't be just Instagram with it. It's bigger than just Instagram. It's bigger than just regular social media, you know? And so even with that, the next event that I'm going to be a part of or having is October 24th. And I definitely want to invite you to that. That's just, it's called the Great Connect. And the person that's holding it is Robin Diamond. She's a beast. She has one of the biggest marketing firms on the East Coast. It's called Fifth and Core. And last event was her first event. She had 260 people there. And these are like, everybody's pulling up their LinkedIn for you to add them. This is not Instagram, you know what I'm saying? Right. And so this event, she's like, yo, you know, I need you to come on board. I need you to be part of this, you know, picture. And we're trying to get 400 people this time. We're going to do it at the Signature Grand. And so I'm going to have a little podcast booth there and everything as well. But just the type of professionals that were in the room last time, especially in the tech space, but just the business realm, the level of conversations were very high for an event that seemed regular, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't promoted as like a conference or anything like that, but these type of communities are there and our people need to be in those rooms more because, you know, the type of event that she is, of course, she's super open to everybody, but she's not an advocate for the black community. You know what I'm
So
saying?
what is she?
She's white.
Okay, she in Miami or no?
Yeah, she here. She here in Miami.
Oh, she building a team in Miami or just networking?
Well, she already has all of that.
Yeah.
And so she just started getting into events because her marketing company she works with hand in hand. She's partners with Big Commerce and Funkonomics or Fundonomics or something like that. But basically, yeah, they got a lot of people out here. And so, you know, in that room, what I want to do also is bring even just more diversity. You know what I'm saying? And bring more of the tech space stuff. And there were some of us in there, but even for, you know, me going into that room and trying to leverage what I had in that room, a lot of people ain't have that LinkedIn presence. A lot of people ain't have that, you know, they couldn't play the chameleon both sides of the fence. And and that's why I'm like, yo, we have to have that level of transparency.
Bro, first of all, I love every question you had. It's really great. And not only just the question, these points you making. Because I just love where you're going with this conversation. So it's something that, like, I moved to again, I'm from Houston. I lived in San Diego 2 years, and then I came out of Miami last year. And I was in Brickell before I moved downtown. But it's like meeting people like you, because you know when you first come to Miami, you don't see that many African Americans here. Especially I was in Brickell. I was like, damn, nobody even speaks English, let alone with somebody black. You know what I'm saying? I'm 100% down with getting with you and making it happen, because I feel like you wouldn't even brought up those type of questions or points if that was something you wasn't even passionate about or literally or wanted to take action on. So I actually had an idea. It was just a quick idea, and I'm just bringing it back up because you mentioned this, that I was thinking about hosting something like that. And here's why, though. Here's why I'm thinking about it. I have so many friends in Miami, my black friends, but I've been so busy building this software that I haven't had time to link with them. So I was like, okay, why don't I just create, because they all want to meet one-on-one. I always invite people to my crib. I'm like, Chris, why don't you just create something to where we link once a month, and I just get everybody that I rock with, that I know that's a high-level entrepreneur, business person, intellectual type person, and we just meet once a month somewhere in Miami. Again, I love my building. I can always host it every single time. I got the space to do it too. So I was like, man, why don't we just start it off small? I grab the few people I know. You grab the people that you connect with. Let's start off small. Let's grab some food. Let's grab some drinks. And then let's just make sure everybody has each other's contacts.
Facts.
And then what I was thinking from there is just a little small group chat. Just something to where, again, because we use a lot of little AI tool, group chat. Slack is one of them we use. But I was like, because me and Will was talking about how we drop information to each other just as my team. And we always drop AI and SaaS type information, text stuff. But I was like, dang, what if we had a group chat with the Miami locals, and all we did was just drop and share information with each other, motivate each other, and continuously keep each other updated on what we got going on.
Oh, Dan will tell you. You got the mic active, Dan? See, like, listen, this is what I've been trying to do for the longest. And so you're right on point, because ultimately what we want to scale that to is the same way they throwing all of these events in Atlanta and now they bringing them over here. We need to already have them. If they want to come on board to our event, that's cool, but we need to have them set up. And right now that's not what we have in our community.
No, and it's definitely a good problem, because the boom in Miami just recently happened in 2020. So most of the people that I've dealt with are individuals who exceeded somewhere in what city they came from and want something new before they came to Miami. And everybody's only a year to 3 years in.
Yeah.
So everybody's still filling people out. Do I really like this person? Everybody's doing a lot of meetings here, there, coffee stuff to find out if they like that person, move forward with that person. And I think everybody been kind of building their teams of the type of people they want to rock with. But I think now it's time that people kind of know and feel the people they want to do business with in Miami, right?
100%.
So I think it's a good problem right now. We should go ahead and just jump onto a solution with actions. And I think that enough serious people, I know enough serious people to where create a quick flyer, throw it out to our people. Hey, this Saturday or something like that, we are going to link here, 8 o'clock, 8 to 11, networking event for Miami locals, small business. I know they have a couple of them out there, but I haven't seen one for black people, like you said. So I think we should just get that popping, bro. Just get that popping, and then like this hub of entrepreneurs that we got going in Miami is explosive. It's really ready to explode.
Yeah.
Like I know some talented people in Miami. That's what attracted me here. Black people, like such as yourself. I'm talking about a talented, smart black people in Miami that we just haven't plugged it together as to how we can really monetize and work together. But I think that, you know, when money get involved, things can get tricky. But I think that building that Miami team, it's us, like what you said, setting up for other cities and other states going on. So long as we got something going, meaning somebody in a group finna do an event, we there to support and promote it and push it. Help this person catch a bag, this person catch a bag, they're a part of the family.
And that's good just to understand what everybody has on the table. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we'll go try to find something somewhere else when you may have something that we can leverage or use together or collaborate or do whatever. You know what I'm saying? And we go to the next person or the next state or even the next race, you know, and it's not even about like not being accepting of all, because of course we are, but you know, I want to, you know, my people got to win. Yeah. And so just even understanding what people bring to the table aside from what's just on that social media, you know what I'm saying? And I don't even promote my production company on my page. And yet we got a voiceover from Morgan Freeman. You know what I'm saying? We work with 100 Black Men of America 3 years in a row. We just shot Orange Blossom Classic 3 years in a row. That's FAMU versus JSU, National Black Farmers Association. You know what I'm saying? Rolling, like we're part of all of the Black culture type stuff. Jazz in the Garden, Social Exchange, you know, the Black Pepper Food Festival. Like, you know what I mean? Like people that's really in business, but still tapped into the Black community is definitely what I'm trying to definitely shape. You know what I'm saying? And my ultimate goal is to open a school that, you know, it's cool to play the sports and everything like that, but how come we haven't ever had a building that's targeted towards financial literacy for these Black kids? You know what I'm saying? And that's something that I'm super passionate about and I want to do.
Man, I support you 100% on that. And like Malcolm, through his teachings, because I studied Nation of Islam, Malcolm so much, and loved everything that they built and stuff like that. And I think that even when you look at Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, you can always take the good from it. Also look at the bad to where the mistakes is at. And we need to keep that going. We don't need to look at what MLK got assassinated, so it was a failure. Malcolm got assassinated, failure. No. There was a ton of good. We could just also look at where the wrongs, where they were wrong at, which was Martin wanted to, you know, integrate so much, you know what I'm saying, and that backfired on him. And when he finally was ready to segregate and create separation, they were like, we got to get him out of here. Yeah. And then what Malcolm was just that he was Malcolm was so deep in his teaching and his follow to where when he heard stories about him, he went against him and that was his downfall. And, you know, I love Malcolm so much, everything about his teachings, but I still disagree with him outing his teacher, even though he had disagreements with him, because the outing him publicly is just not what other races need to see. Yeah. See, when Asians get into their difficulties, they don't splash it out to where the Black community see it. Facts. Jewish get into something, they don't splash it to where the Black community can see it. White people do that. Now, but when a Black person has something going on in the community, we got to go public to the media and bash them. You see what I'm saying? Not saying that you have to agree with everything Black people doing, but let's learn how to keep it in-house. You know what I'm saying? And one of the things that the positive side I took from him was just because back to your point about interraces, just because I'm pro-Black don't make me racist. Facts. You dig what I'm saying? Bro, I'm pro-Black through and through. I'm from the north side of Houston, Texas. I got dreads. You can't even, my voice, I sound like it. I can't even hide it. You know what I'm saying? Whether I'm dealing with tech or not, I can't hide who I am. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always pro-Black, but that don't mean I wouldn't work with a white person. That don't mean I wouldn't work with him. Yeah, I work with you. Facts. Just understand the work and benefit I'm getting from you is going to always come back and benefit my culture, and I don't mind telling you that up front. So if you got a problem with me collaborating with you and your race, because I'm going to bring that information back to my people, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? Which would technically make you racist. Because, again, we got, prejudice, meaning I don't mess with that different type of person. again, in our history of black people, we actually can't be racist.
Facts.
Because racism is a system. It's a way to economically, you know what I'm saying, mentally destroy another group of people. We don't even have the resources to be racist against white people. We can't stop white people from going to public schools.
Facts.
We can't stop white people from getting jobs. So how can we actually be racist to them when we don't have the resources to stop them from growing? That's what racism actually is. Literally putting everything in place to stop a group of people from growing. We can't do that. Now we can be prejudiced against them and just not like them. You know what I'm saying? And we got too much going on to be worried about fighting them. You know what I'm saying? So even Elijah Muhammad would teach that, hey, bro, we over here, we always said, I ain't say you couldn't learn from a white person. I ain't say you couldn't learn from them. I ain't say you couldn't learn different tactics from Jews or whatever they disagree with. You can learn certain things from them, but just make sure you stay true to yourself.
Facts.
And that's another thing that's going in the culture that, you know, when we get to a certain level of intellect or money or respect, whatever it is, we have to stop being black. We have to switch it all up now because I'm better than these ends, you know what I'm saying? Which comes back to the house Negro and the field Negro. If we hit this way, we can't mess with them no more. You know what I'm saying? Now, I will be honest with you. As I elevated, there's a lot of people in the streets back home that I won't deal with for certain levels I'm at. But again, that came back to me trying to solve my problem of even dealing with those people. But Chris, there's a lot of people back home that want to work with you, but they don't have a $25K, $50K budget or going to go through any of your systems, your protocol to do it. But if I create a system that's easy enough, even for the person in the hood to run, that allows me to get back attached to the streets. See, if I didn't have a system in place and it would just me texting my homies in the street, calling my homie in the street, there's a disconnect of what he doing in the streets and what I'm doing over here. So that communication will be tough. But if I can tell homie, hey, bro, go legit, get your credit right, use this software. Because most people in the hood, in the streets, where they selling drugs, something like that, they don't want to do that.
Nah, facts.
I was there, I know them. They want to, most people in the hood want to sell pits, Frenchies. You know what I'm saying? They want to do a rap career. They want to sell a merch. Every hood person.
Or be an athlete.
Yeah, athlete, sell a merch, sell Frenchies, sell, you know what I'm saying? We can build a software for all that. I can build a software to help you run your dog business, bro. I bet you don't have, I can go to the hood right now. I know you don't have the proper data in place, an app where people can see. I could do all that. Nah, you know, everybody on their phone, this and that. Point I'm making is the software and the system allows me to get back to the community and be able to work with them through proper channels than just the phone.
Yeah.
To make everything go smooth. And if they get down with this new tech, which they should because it's the future, I know I'll be helping bringing my people up. You know what I'm saying? So, again, I had to learn this game, not from black people, from other races. And when I learned tech software from them, I decided to put my sauce on it, bring it back to my people, and make sure I can communicate and articulate it to them to where they can understand and not talk over their head. And then also create so much training, videos, words, everything I can do for them to understand. And that's what we pride ourselves on, meaning we pro-black. We going to help you wherever you at. We'll meet you where you at. But I need you to have the proper mindset to know that this is a system. It ain't personal, it's business. And that's another point. I know I'm rambling here, but that's another point with business owners. When they start their business, they don't know how to separate the personal and business.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you help your first friends, family member, everything is on the phone. They text you, they bother you, don't want them. You need to be behind the system. You need to be behind the software. You need to have protocols in place to avoid that. Because when you're doing business with people, like it's your cousin and it's business, and your cousin want to skip the line of your actual customer. Bro, why you ain't answer the phone for me? Why you ain't texting me back? Bro, I'm busy. Your cousin don't want to hear that. Then when you don't text them back and they see you post online, he Hollywood now.
Yeah.
He's social media influencer now. He don't text you. Man, social media, I'm at work, man.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? But again, if there was a proper system in place, a proper automation in place, you can solve that at the beginning and be able to work with everybody on a business standard opposed from a personal standard. And I think the customer and the client who respect and appreciate you more if there's a system in place before they sign up, because they'll know you more official, more legit too.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So we try to really create the best product and service to solve high level business people, but also don't want to look down on our people that's like, hey, bro, I'm trying to be an entrepreneur too. Can you help me out too? I hope y'all CJU boys ain't too far. Nah, we ain't too far. We got something for you. We can definitely help you.
Nah, that's definitely dope. You got kids?
Nah, no kids, man.
Okay,
I
you
turned
want
33
kids
this year.
Okay, you want kids?
I do. I ain't gonna lie. I slowed down the dating and going crazy when I started in the entrepreneurship realm. I've been trying to keep my head on straight. I'm already studying, thinking about it. Trying to keep my head on straight as I was moving and grew into this business. But
Nah,
I got enough nieces and nephews, I tell you that.
Okay, so what is something that you would tell your nieces and nephews or your unborn children about getting into entrepreneurship that you would want them to know?
Man, the first thing I would let them know is just don't try to do it alone. Get a mentor, get a coach. That's the very first thing you can do, because that's I teach my students, that's one of the major regrets that I have. I was one of those guys that like, I'm gonna figure this shit out on my own. I don't need to pay this person for no coaching. I don't need to pay for this mentorship group. No, ain't nobody finna get me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna figure this out on my own. And you're gonna blow through money on your own or paying somebody. Money going one way or another. So I would definitely tell the young ones, get a coach, get a mentor, meaning find somebody that's doing exactly what you want to do, that has the results that you want to have, and literally go down a path of what they're doing. Because if you just start there, you know what I'm saying, you got something to model. You don't want to get out into entrepreneurship scrambling all over the place.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? It's loud right now. It's a lot of people talking online, and a lot of people don't know which way to go. So just find somebody that's getting the results, not just talking, but actually has the results to back up what they're saying, and follow them, because successful people have no problem helping you. That's true success. Every successful person, once they hit a level, they got to give back. So that's the first thing. Get a coach, get a mentor. Second thing, get you a system. For sure.
Got to get a system.
Got to get your system. It don't hurt to have good credit too.
Nah, facts. And so, this was a crazy interview with just a lot of gems dropping, and just the passion that you got, not only behind just your brand, but even just how you talk about giving back to the community and everything. And this goes in my top 3 interviews. You know what I'm saying? Like, genuinely, like, we've shot over 50 episodes by now. We just started in January. You know what I'm saying? And that's 50 recorded episodes. There's some that may never see the light of day, because fuck them. You know what I'm saying? But hey, that's just my personality. You know what I mean? But
I appreciate that love.
But
sure.
Most def, I appreciate you. So if people wanted to tap in with you, use the software, get into it, like, how could they learn more about that?
Absolutely. First thing, if you want to just get to know about me, you can go to Chris Joseph University on YouTube. Because I really believe YouTube was a place to where it built me, it grew me. It's where I made all my fortunes in and helped a lot of people. Because if you go to my YouTube and watch my older videos to now, you get to kind of know what type of person I am, because I can't fake those old videos, right? So that's the very first place I would say people go to my YouTube to learn something about me first. You know what I'm saying? Then from there, Instagram, CJ_University. I had to get that joint verified for a lot of fake accounts. So CJ_University. And then, like, as far as my websites, CJUcredithelp.com. It's where we help people with credit repair. CJUfunding.com is where we help people get access to funding. And literally on those websites, man, you click any button, forms come up, the automation starts to what we talking about. What I got coming to, I'll just throw this on there. I already bought the custom domain. It's going to be called CJUsystems.com. And on this landing page, I'm literally going to put every SOP, the standard operating procedure, and every training video that I have of what I give my team or how we run the back in our business. I'm going to put that out there on public display. It's going to be CJUsystems.com, so you can literally go verify the back end of our business and verify, do we even know what we talk about?
Yeah.
Even before you do any type of service with us. And I want to drop this gift for your audience too. because it helps for me when I listen to somebody and they drop good books. Because every time somebody I'm listening to drop a good book, I go get on Amazon immediately. For the audience, 2 really good books by this author named Dan Presley, because it'll give context of everything I said on this interview or where I get the sauce from. Dan Presley, he has a book called Oversubscribe. That's a really good book about building a subscription recurring business. And he has another book called Key Personal Influence. Those are really good, powerful entrepreneurial books to start off to help scale your business. And then the other one I give out there is called Rocket Fuel. It's a really good, powerful book that will teach you the difference in your business between who's the visionary with the creative thought and then who needs to be the integrator, the person behind the scenes building. And that book, Rocket Fuel, I got on to earlier, it put a lot of perspective in my business and building systems, because as I was growing as an entrepreneur, I didn't label myself as the Steve Jobs or the Jeff Bezos or the visionary. I was just doing everything. Once I read that book, Rocket Fuel, it put in perspective of the type of person you are and the type of person you need. So the book breaks it down. Are you a visionary? And it gives you what that is. And are you an integrator? When I read that book, I found out I was a visionary, and I found out my team was the integrator. So I was able to coach them better once I defined what their roles was. Because my first coaching program was to teach everybody to be like me.
Gotcha.
But not everybody CJU. Not everybody got the voice. Not everybody got the charisma. Not everybody's the visionary thinker. There's some people who are just programmers. There are some people who just like to take orders in an organized manner and perform well. Once I found that out, I was able to delegate a lot better as I'm building my system. So if your audience take out a book, Rocket Fuel, that's a powerful book to get your mind right. And the other 2 I mentioned are really good about growing and scaling subscription service businesses.
Nah, that's definitely dope. I appreciate everything, man. Just you just giving the time to come on here. I know you got a busy schedule. This one we definitely was waiting for this one, but
for sure.
Most definitely just pulling up. And if y'all like what he said, everything, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and just tell people about it. Just make sure you use the gems. You can misuse people. Don't misuse this information. Don't just watch another episode of the podcast. Like, make sure you actually take what this man was teaching and just at the surface level and just do your information. As he said, go check him out and look at everything that he has available for you. And so, it's already Money Bag Rich. And as we always say, we look good, we live good, life is good. Talk to us, we talk back, and we out of here.
Hey, hap hap.